No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. No one ever sees me, I'm losing every battle. Can somebody save me, I'm losing every battle.
Hello and good morning. It is a beautiful, beautiful, literally beautiful day. It's like totally blue sky. So I hope you're having a good weather where you are. This is the Brand Momentum Morning Show. I'm your host, Faith James, and I am just so privileged to come here every single weekday morning and do this work with you. So let's see who we have in the studio. Good morning, beautiful Carrie from Jamaica. How are you, gorgeous? How's the weather there? Hello, gorgeous Amber. How are you, my love? Melody Dixon, gorgeous Melody Dixon in the building. How are you feeling, my love? So please share this video, tag your friends, get everybody in. This is your morning vitamin I, your daily dose of inspiration. And for those of you who, good morning, Marva. So good to see you, beautiful. And for those of you who attended the retreat, I want to just express my deep gratitude for so many that showed up and participated, and the comments still come, the texts still come. Everybody's just, wow. And so replay will be headed your way this by tomorrow. You'll be in your hands. You will have the replay to relive and to experience, because I know that there was so much good stuff given. And what I want to say to you is, if you didn't at the time upgrade and get access to the replay, I would highly, highly, highly suggest you do so now before we send those out. So I'm going to drop the link again. So you can just go ahead and click on that and click on VIP access. So not only do you get lifetime access to all of the wonderful information that was presented by each speaker, but you also get a free ticket to the upcoming social branding masterclass, which, if you know that your social media is a hot mess, like, we're just going to keep it real. If you know it's not where it needs to be, if you know it's not pro, then this is your opportunity to get into that masterclass for free and start doing some work with that. In addition, you also get the personal branding checklist, so you can get a sense of what are all the things that you should be doing anyway, because I know for most people, they're just sort of not sure what the next steps are. So you get all of that. Thank you, Melody, as always. So how is everybody doing? So when I started off this week, I talked about the fact that we're now in the second quarter. And as you assess your life, your personal life, as you assess your professional life, Now, as we're in spring cleaning, we're moving out, we're clearing, we're cutting and clearing. How is it going for you? And so as we continue to read from Audacity to Be Queen by Gina DeVee, we're in this section where we're talking about this epic life. And so ask yourself this question: are you currently experiencing an epic life? Good morning, beautiful Sharon. How are you? Good to have you in the studio as always. Hello, Pamela. Beautiful. How are you doing? And who is this Facebook user? Please comment with your name so I can address you by name. How is your life going? Personal and professional. So if we look at our personal life, how would you assess it on a scale of 1 to 10? Where 1 is just nothing's going on, you're just feeling blah. And 10 is you're living your best life right now. You're living your best life. Let's assess our personal lives and feel free to share. Good morning, beautiful Jacqueline. How are you, gorgeous? Oh, Sandra. Okay, welcome. Sandra, if you can maybe exit, and then when you see the video, it should say, I'm going live using StreamYard, and click here to give StreamYard permission to use your name. Or you can do like Arvis does when she wants to be awesome and she wants her name seen, right? Because you get to be seen, you get to be heard verbally in the written form. You can go over to the YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and look for my name and find the live video there, and then your name will be seen. So look at Amber. Amber is saying, we're now paying bills off 2 months at a time. That is wonderful, right? So that is a place where you are completely in the power position. Pamela says she's at around a 6. So Pamela, for you, the question you get to ask yourself is, what's in the gap? What's stopping you from being at a 10? What's in the gap? What's missing? And then take note of that, and then get intentional about activating what you need to activate to move that from a 6 to a 7, 8, right? And up. Assess what's in the gap. Okay, Sandra, let me know if well, I'll see you. I'll see your name if you're able to do that. So we get to have this epic life. It is not for the hidden few. We get to have that. And it's possible because everything just comes down to choice and a decision. You get to decide if this life that you're having now is not doing it for you, it's not what you know the Creator intended for you, you know you could and should be experiencing more, number 1 universal law, more life, then you have the power within you to do that. We all do. Jacqueline's at a 9.5, and that's the life that she created because Jacqueline's intentional, right? Intentional. And so, this is great. Jacqueline's saying what's in the gap for her when it becomes automated. She will be a 10 and a work in progress. And I love that you say a 10 work in progress because we know, right? More life. There's always more. You know, I was just reading the list of the Forbes list of the Florida billionaires. So if you're a millionaire right now, guess what? There is next level, right? We're talking about trillions of dollars in net worth. There is a next level. So it's always as in nature, right? The tree, once you plant it and it takes root, it's more life. It doesn't say, okay, I've gotten to 6 feet. This is good enough for me right here. I'm just going to hang out here at 6 feet. And the grass doesn't say, oh, I've gotten it to 2 inches, I'm going to hang here for a minute. It just is universal law. It's just more life. It's just going to keep going and going and going until somebody comes along again and cuts it down. And even when somebody comes and cuts it down, it doesn't freak out and cry and say, why me? It just says more life. It's as if it never even got cut. It just continues in the growth. Yes, she is. Yes, but Jacqueline gets it. Jacqueline knows it's a continuous journey. A continuous journey, right? I always joke when I tell you about my mentors and their house managers and their dog managers. Next level, more life, right? Never came into the experience of what a house man, even the concept of having a house manager. But now, when you see, you can't unsee. When you know, you can't unknow. So that's now next level. So think about for you, what's in the gap. You make that list, and then you can select one. I don't care how small it is. Oh, Sandra's back in. Okay, Sandra says she's a 7. Okay, perfect, Sandra. So the same work for you as with Pamela. Ask yourself, what's in the gap between the 7 and the 10? What's down here? What do you get to do from today? What do you get to be intentional about? See, being intentional about your life, being intentional about your business, being intentional about everything is where the magic is. I did a post in the Savvy Branders tribe where it said, don't wait for your ship to come in. Go swim out and meet it. Right? Sometimes we're like, oh, my time will come. It'll come for me soon. I'll wait. Go get it. And you can decide, because as we read today, we're talking about this idea that good enough isn't good enough. And that if you're desirous of more, you go get more. Don't worry about who's on the left or who's on the right to say, oh, well, you need to be satisfied with that. If I can be more, I'm going to be more. If I can do more, I'm going to do more. Right? And if I can have more, I'm going to have more. This is where we get to shed all of that ought tos and shoulds that people want to put on it. So Sandra, when you say your schedule and time, I want to invite you into a new thinking on that. So leaders believe, work in the idea of, it's not that I don't have time, I make time. And if we put limitations on that say, well, I have a job from 8:30 to 4, therefore I can't, then we've already lost. We get to develop that even though I'm at the people's job from 9 to 5, nevertheless, I'm going to power up my weekends to start building whatever it is that you want to build. So for me, when I started being the CEO of me, I started as a side hustle. I had a full-time, big, huge, massive responsibility. If you've heard me tell the story, I was VP of business development for a company that I worked for. I had a responsibility of bringing in $400,000 in new business at one point. So somebody might look at that and say, oh my gosh, you're totally full up, because you just have to be always on the phone, always at conferences, always meeting, connecting with companies. So you get the opportunity to write a project proposal for them and bring in that business. But I want you to hear me say, I started my MSI, multiple source of income strategy, always as a side hustle. Jim Rohn, who I love to say is my mentor from afar, you work in the daytime at your job, you work in the evenings and weekends on your fortune. So the mindset is, I make time. It's not that I have time, because you stand as source creator. I make time. I think it was last week when one of my leadership cohorts is in here, Summer. She said, you know, the work that we're doing in leadership, we now learn, we know, we bend time. And it's just a decision. This morning in my $1 million morning mentor program that I do every morning, the topic was about, it's just a decision. Everything is just a decision. So think about that and see where, if you can come at it from, if you can come at it, Sandra, from that thought of, I make time. Like the time doesn't, like I make the time. And so see where you can make a decision that says, I'm going to do this. So whether it's like for me, before, you guys know, I was just rolling out of bed at 8:30. Now, after having gone through leadership, I'm 5:30 in the morning. Like literally, I just didn't even understand how this has come to be. But I tell you, even on the weekends now, I still get up at 5:30. I still get up and I go right into my meditation room and I put in my earbuds and I do my meditation. That is number one. If you were at the retreat this week, you heard the dean of the business school, which totally shocked me that was the thing. My question to him was, what is the number one thing, if you just do one thing, a tool that you would not be without? Now he's a doctor, he's a PhD in project this, and he's an MBA, and he's like the dean of the business school, runs his own business consulting, is author. He says mindfulness, and not the mindfulness that they teach you in yoga, but mindfulness, the idea of being present to yourself and being conscious to your thoughts and being present in this moment and looking forward into the future, not sitting niggling around what happened in the past. So the dean of the business school, when I asked him, what's the number one thing? He said mindfulness. So for me now, being completely transformed through this leadership program, from 8:30 to 5:30 in the morning, I get into my meditation room. I do my meditation. Once that's complete, I drop to the floor. I do my minute 30 plank. I do my 100 crunches. I do my minute and a half of stretching. And then I've also added a minute and a half of wall sit. All that gets done, even though nevertheless, like those are the non-negotiables now in my morning. And I realized that I get to do that because if I was still just rolling out of bed at 8:30, then my mentorship program starts at 9. Well, before it was 9:30, now it starts at 9. So now I'm crunched. So the things that I know I want to do for myself, now I'm behind time because now I have the show at 10. So then I'm playing catch up the whole day. The whole day is a wreck. I remember it was one morning when I didn't do it, and my entire energy, my entire being was just out of sorts. So I made the time. That required me to set my alarm. First, I pushed myself to 7, and I thought I was doing something. I thought I was doing something great, and up at 7 o'clock. And then I pushed, and I was like, well, maybe I can do 6:30, and then 6. And I was like, no, we can do more. 5:30. Look out. You're going to hear me tell you soon. I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And I can't even tell you how much I get done, how much more productive I am, because the first thing I do is I set my mind right. I set my mind right. So that's why I'm so excited about the new program that's launching. You guys heard about it at the retreat. And I think maybe 4 or 5 CEOs have already enrolled. So for those of you who are on the fence dilly-dallying, I need you to hear me loud and clear. It's an application process because I'm making sure we get the right people in, because when you're in a boot camp, that's also a mastermind, you get to show up, right? You don't just get to take and not show up, because if you don't show up, the people don't get the benefit of your thoughts, of your laser focus on their issues and challenges. So I think 5 have already been enrolled. We start May 3rd. So find the link, get enrolled. As I said to you, it's a $250 refundable down payment to have that conversation with me so I can take you through the program. And then once you're like, yep, I'm in, then we work out the payment plans. I just had a conversation this morning with Dr. Hans de Graaf from the Netherlands, who was at the retreat and heard Hans talk about decisions. So this is Hans de Graaf from the Brainful Institute. And yes, Sandra, I love this. Yes, you make the time. Hello, Michelle, beautiful. Oh my gosh, I love all my peeps in the house. If you're going to fall back to sleep first thing in the morning, you know what I do, Christina? So as soon as the alarm goes, and literally when I first started, I was like snoozing, and then I was like, yeah, that's not working out, because then I would like fall asleep and get up at 6:30. It's like, whoa, what happened to the whole hour? So when I get up at 5:30, I go right into the meditation room. I put in my earbuds and I just start. So whether it's doing, I'll tell you the one that I've been doing that's been really, really powerful. So two I'm going to give you. This one's it's on Audible. It's called, come on, library. It's called Make More Money Now. It's a self-hypnosis Audible by Amy Applebaum. And it has 7, maybe 10 different chapters. 4 or 5 of them are the actual self-hypnosis. And the others are like just, meditation music tracks that you can use for your visualization. So I do that. So then I rotate between that and then from YouTube. Oh, I just found the one that Joe Dispenza one that it's a guided morning meditation. So it's only 12 minutes and 14 seconds. So I do either those 2 in rotation one day, right? So, but those are because what you do is you kind of like get in the habit. So when I get up, I just set my mind, and you heard this morning, right, Christina, when David said, it's just a decision. Everything is just a decision. So I have decided, I have become resolved, determined that I now get up in the morning and get those done. Okay, yes, absolutely. Christina's asking if I can post the links for those. I absolutely will. Absolutely will. Yeah, Jacqueline, my body, the clock is now in sync. And let me tell you, I always joke and I say, I am not the one that anybody could ever accuse in court of being a morning person. But as David said this morning, David's our mentor, everything's a decision, just a decision. And we're also in this separate group, Christina knows what I'm talking about, where one of the posts was like, what do you do? Where do you go to get business advice or something like that? Or who do you go to, something like that? And I said, I go, of course, everybody knows, I go to Counsel for God. Like literally, he's the chairman of my board. Every morning we have our board meeting. And then after that, I look for mentors who are being the way I want to be, are doing the things I want to do. And then I work with them and follow what they say like a recipe. Because sometimes what happens is we want to have it both ways, right? We want to like be in our flesh, but then our mind and our heart wants to do something different. And we're like, well, I want to be this mindful person, but I also just want to be like a sloth sometimes. And not saying you're not going to, bob and weave every now and again, but everything is just a decision. And so I've decided, because I've looked at one of my other mentors, and she is just totally rocking the world from Southern California, getting up at 4:30 in the morning, getting her 3 non-negotiables done, spending her time with God, doing stuff for her. And then she says by 10, 11 o'clock, her company has her because she runs an 8-figure company. multi-million-dollar company. So then everybody then starts coming at her. Oh, we need this. Can you prove this? Right? Then she's totally for her team. And then by, I think she said like 4:30, it's a wrap. She's done. Then she's for her family. So I look at that as the behavior that I get to model. So if I want to get to run a multi-million-dollar company and also have harmony, remember Dr. DeGraff, Hans has said, not balance, but harmony, then I look at people that are doing it and doing it well and that are successful and model that behavior. Right? So, we have the saying, the early birds catch the worms. It's just that, but there's no judgment on it. This is what I want you to hear me say. There's no judgment on it. It just is, right? I choose to, I don't get up till 10. Okay. Love you anyway. But everything in life that you want comes with a price tag, right? Everything that you want in life comes with a price tag. I want to sleep until 10. Okay. So when the $1 million morning sessions are happening at 5:00 on Clubhouse, then you miss those nuggets, but that's okay. But that's a choice. This is a beautiful thing. It's choice. So then, you made the decision not to get up at 5:00 to be on. See, that's what I'm working my way up to eventually, that I can be up and coherent to get on a Clubhouse with $1 million people at 5:00 and catch some of those nuggets that they're dropping. So I'm building my way there, but from where I've come, the leap, the quantum leap, it's insane to me, but it's truth and it's happening because you see me and you know me live. So here's the crazy thing. I don't go to bed until 11. I mean, I'm really pushing it if I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to go to sleep at 10. Like last night, I think we went to bed at midnight. But here's what I do as well. I should bring this in the next time. So I take these melatonin gummies. I chew 4, even though I think that the box says 2, but whatever. So I take 4. So what that does for me, it gives me a solid night's sleep, because if I don't do that, then maybe 1 or 2, if I have to go to the bathroom and you get up, and then now your sleep is interrupted. So I just get a nice, solid, deep sleep, just straight through, so that even when you wake up at 5:30 and you're kind of ooh, sprightly, but it's a decision. It's a decision because I know how I feel. I know how I feel when already my Bible study has been completed. So this is my finishing, what do you call it? File thing here. So I put these when I'm done. My Bible study is done. My gratitude, this is my gratitude journal. I just write all the things, right? That's complete. And then this journal here, which is my intention journal, is still here because I still get to finish that. And once that's done, Christina, I can go into the nightly reflection and be done. We do our Secret 7. I did that. What do you get to do? Those 3 things are my non-negotiables. That's how I keep my word to myself. Those get done. And then I'm in such a high vibration energy that I'm just clicking through things. I've already given 2 of my assistants a list of things that get to be done already. So it's a decision. And the way I did it, I kind of just stair-stepped my way. So yeah, I mean, of course, good sleep is important. So whatever you need to do, I'll take a picture and post it of it's actually what is it called? Something with an N, Natroli or something like that. See if I have the card. And that really helps me. And it's just melatonin. Because if I take anything else that's maybe a Tylenol, then you wake up and you're totally groggy. So I don't recommend that. But Carrie, yes. So Yes, you heard him, right? It's just a decision. And let me just say something on decision. I heard this from John Maxwell. He came to our Legal Shield conference a few years ago. And he says, when you break down the word decide to its root cause, its root word, icide is death. So homicide, somebody kills somebody. Suicide, somebody killed themselves. Pesticide, somebody kills some pests. Herbicide, somebody kills some weed. Decide is the death of all other options. You have canceled, killed, returned any other option other than what it is, right? That you have decided on. So it's a choice. Like one of my team members was saying, oh, this, she was talking about getting, and she's like, oh, it's not working for me. Well, you decide it's going to work for you. It's right. And even when you hear David say, you think like, it can't be that simple. It literally really is just that simple. You decide. And then you do it. And then you keep your word to yourself. And once you get into this notion of keeping your word to yourself, because then who knows, you and God. And if you revere, hold high with honor your relationship with God, you're not fooling anybody when you go say, oh yeah, I did it. Nobody's going to know. Nobody's checking. But guess what? You and God know. So when I say my word to myself is doing my Bible study, journaling my gratitude, and writing out my intentions for my business, and then I let the day go meandering and then I don't get it done, I'm only hurting myself. Like I'm not hurting anybody else, right? So when we decide, like if this is a thing that's important to you, then you make the decision that no more, and you move forward. If you're not there yet, and so listen, this is what I want you to hear me say. You may not be there yet, and that's okay. Because as we say in Jamaica, nothing before the time. But you give yourself some grace and say, yes, I'm going to try again. I'm going to work into that. Yes, 5:30, my love. And wait, it soon will be. Yes, she gets up at 4:30. And so if I'm seeing her as the behavior to model, she runs a multi-million-dollar company, takes off 5 months in the year, she's out of there. Because when you do this type of work, this type of transformation leadership work, you learn quantum physics, you learn how to bend time. Yes, harmony. Because what Hans was saying when he talked about harmony at the retreat versus balance is balance suggests that this, right? Your personal life and your professional life and the time with your family and the time with your girlfriends, and it's all equal. It's here. This is when something's balanced. But what he's saying is that's unrealistic. What harmony looks like is, okay, for right now, I may be burning the midnight oil because I have a launch, but then, right? But then I get to take 3 weeks off. And then I do another thing. And then, so this, right? That's like, this is that harmony, as opposed to like, think about when you're trying to, if anybody you're a gymnast, you've ever tried to walk on a balance beam, right? It's herky jerky, like, because you're trying so hard to keep this balance, keep your arms straight and walk, as opposed to the fluidity of dance, just harmony. Like, doesn't that feel better anyway? Absolutely. Breakfast with Champions is a really good. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. And guess what? You don't get up, you miss them. And then that's okay too. But just know that you decided. And so then when you see Mary Sue getting connections from the people on Clubhouse and saying, oh, come, and you don't hate on her. Don't hate on Mary Sue. Because Mary Sue got up. Mary Sue decided, she killed off all other options and decided that was going to be a part of it. You know, they talk about you're the average of the people you spend, the 5 people you spend the most time with. It's true. It's proven. And so you get to decide. So who are your 5? Remember, I did this training before in Brand Therapy Thursday where I said, who's your 12? Like Jesus had his 12, right? Inner circle, people who were on the same like-minded path, going toward that same mission. Who's your 12? Who do you spend the most time with? And I'm not just limiting that to people in your physical space. So like David's in my 12 because I see his face every single morning, right? Shanda is in my 12 because I'm in 2 of her programs doing work every single day. So you want to think about, for you, look at your 5, or use my Jesus analogy, look at your 12, look at your phone. Hello, somebody. Who are you texting? Who's your phone record showing that you're spending? Because in our minds, we can say, oh yeah, I'm building this epic life. I'm spending my time with people who are going places. And then you look at your phone and it's like, oh, that was like a 2-hour conversation with Good Time Tina. Good Time Tina is not about this life. You know that by now. So the numbers don't lie. The data don't lie. And we get to be honest with ourselves. And the shift that I have seen in my business, because I have decided that this transformational work, this transformational leadership work is here to stay. And whatever it takes, my favorite hashtag, even though, nevertheless. Even though, nevertheless. So let that, the relaxed tea. Yeah, you know what I ran out of, but I would do also the sleepy time tea that has the chamomile. That helps as well too, for anybody who's interested. Yes. Vacation gone. That's what I'm telling you. If you think you're here, there's a next level, and we get to be exposed to those next levels, because when you surround yourself with people who have gone ahead and are doing things, whether they're 2 steps or 20 steps ahead of you, you get to see it and go, wow, I thought I was living my best life having 5 weeks vacation when I worked in corporate. Now you come here and it's like, oh, I'm sorry, did you say you take off 5 months out of the year? Okay. So we know we have room to stretch and grow. Jacqueline says she can't do 4:30. They'll be cutting into the lovemaking time. Listen, it's all right. It's all good. It's our own personal choice, but we remember, hear me say this, everything we want in life has a price tag on it. So for example, Jacqueline, let's just say the team from Versace were doing an all call for designers session at 4:00 every morning, and they were selecting 5 people to come and co-design a new, 2022 line with Donatella. You get to decide, right? You get to decide. That she said she'll get a divorce, right? But we get to decide what's important for us. So that's what I'm saying. This is exactly what I want you guys to hear me say. Know that you get to choose, you get to decide what your epic life looks like. But as we say in Jamaica, if you want good, sometimes your nose has to run. That just means sometimes we get to make a sacrifice. Like, right, my husband barely sees me. Like yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or yeah, it might have been yesterday. He was coming in with my smoothie and I was live. I was on, and my hand was like this, like I was totally doing like the Diana Ross, like, stop in the name of, like, don't come in here, I'm live. And he's just trying to bring me a smoothie. And he's like, where's my wife? But he understands we're doing this harmony thing right now. Now we're burning. Now we're chasing that 500,000 by June. And he gets that, and he's part of that, and he understands, because guess what? We already have our 10-day, 9-day cruise to the Panama Canal booked for October. So that's the harmony. We're going to burn some hours now, and then later we get to cruise. We get to, oh my gosh, Jacqueline, I have to post my tops. Those are for sure coming on the cruise with me. They're super it might be a little too loose for me now, because you see how I'm like working my guns, but I'm okay with it. I'm just going to have it be luxuriate. I'm just going to luxuriate on the boat. It's fine, but I'm going to post it. Jacqueline made me, Jacqueline, what do you call those? Let me know. Yes, exactly. I love this, Carrie. You have to realize too, when you're being the good time Tina to yourself. I did an insane productivity program once with Darren Hardy, who's the founder of Success Magazine. And he talks about these 90-minute jams where you literally shut everything down, close all the windows, turn off the phones, the pinging, the dinging, everything. You get a timer and you set it for 90, and you pick one project and you do that one thing. Because sometimes what happens is we see the entire list, we see the entire desk, we see the to-do list, and we get overwhelmed like, oh my gosh. Pick one thing, shut everything down. Don't look at anything. Like I have a second monitor, shut everything down. Nothing else is happening. Door is like closed. Set your timer, 90 minutes. Work on one thing. You'd be so surprised at what gets done. All right. So let's catch up with Miss Gina. So she says, if you're asking, is life meant to be this slow, this hard, this heavy? Where is the quantum leap? Did all miracles just exit stage left? No, they didn't. We stopped or never started believing in them, right? That was a theme from the retreat. Believe. You just have to believe, have faith. I gave you the success formula for personal success, which if you weren't at the retreat, here's a little recap. This is a personal success equation. Close bracket, open parentheses, P plus T, close parentheses, times A, close bracket, plus F equals personal success. Here's what it is. Passion plus talent times association times action plus faith equals personal success. Passion, in love with what it is that you're doing. Talent, the ability to do it well. Association, level up your squad. Who are you spending time with? Action, do it. Implement, execute. You heard Jay Brown talk about 20 brilliant ideas are worth nothing if you've got one idea that's actually being implemented and executed right now. Plus faith, believe. All of this is important, but if you don't believe, it's nothing. Although the last variable in the equation, faith, is the most important and will be the catalyst to your success. You must believe. If you're doing something and you're like, yeah, nobody's going to come to this event, or nobody's going to come to this launch, or you're sabotaging your own opportunities. So we stopped or never started believing in them. Sitting at your kitchen table in last night's pajamas, scrolling around your laptop, burdened to get through the unending amounts of work all day, every day, is not how our lives are meant to look forever. The only reason they do is that we fall and prey to the mindset of limited thinking. We were created just below the angels. I need you to hear me. So I'm going to say this. You know me, I'm the queen of the broken record. We were created just below the angels, right? The angels. Do you understand what angels are, who they are, the power that the angels are in the army of God? That's how much, put that in perspective. Okay. We've fallen prey to the mindset of limited thinking. If before now you thought the biggest accomplishment you could have this year was to complete the closet clear out you started last summer, your epic life begins with a possibility mindset and looks more like launching your side hustle, healing an eating disorder, landing the promotion, running for office, running a marathon, or crossing African safari off your bucket list. We get to start. This is what I keep saying to you. God's master plan was not work, pay bills, and die. How did so many of us smart women get stuck settling for less than our full glory? We let epic get removed from our mentality. Epic is for those other people. Epic are for those special people, not for us. We do average, mediocre, just getting by, good enough. No, right? We've learned how to follow the status quo, pay and manage our bills online, read Jane Austen, highlight our cheekbones, but we haven't been taught how to thrive. Sorry, beautiful. The audacity to be queen, Gina DeVee. So, more likely, we've been told by the other loud voices in society that whatever our spirits long for is too unrealistic, expensive, improbable to happen. So why even ask? Making others' voices more important than our own breeds self-doubt and self-abandonment. I'm rereading some of what we did yesterday because it's so important. The first whispers of you can't, what will they think? That's not possible, sends your beloved dreams straight to the graveyard. Mindset. The dean said mindfulness. This is why in the CEO Bootcamp and Mastermind Intensive, every day is CEO Mindset Mornings. Because until you get your mind right, the brilliance of the strategy, I could bring in experts till the cows come home. And when Dean Colwell said on the retreat to Joe, because Joe had his VIP question asked and answered, double your prices. If you're saying that you can provide healing in one session, double your price. I mean, I was telling Joe, like, go 10%. He's like, double it. I was like, wait now. Okay, here we go. We're launching into Pricing and Strategy Mastermind. And this is exactly what we did. And he gave him strategies on how he could really stand solidly and believe that one session with him is worth double the price. And one of the things I get to tell you this morning, again, is use promised land language. When Moses got the instructions from God to deliver the children of Israel, he didn't say, tell them we're going to exit and go left, go due north 5 miles, and then we're going to make a bend around to the Mediterranean. Promised land language. I'm taking you to a land of milk and honey. Do we care how we get to the land of milk and honey? No, we don't. No, we don't. We want to get to the promised land. So that's what you get to really keep that in the fore of your mind. Let's jump down. And yet women are chastised, made fun of, even crucified online when we dare to manifest something more, which dims our fiery nature. Just having the blasé energy of, sure, that'd be nice. It's like Niagara Falls dumping on the fragile flame of our dreams. When you just say, yeah, when you don't come certain, determined, resolved, decided, and somebody comes and says, oh, that's crazy. I want to put you in remembrance of Rihanna. Who knows Rihanna? Who knows who Rihanna is? Yep, absolutely. I am here for all of this faith. Good morning, beautiful Stelita. Who knows who Rihanna is? Okay, Stelita says she does. Anybody else know who Rihanna is? Because it's important for me to make sure you understand her creation. Okay. She's a singer and a makeup guru, but she wasn't always that. Rihanna hails from the island of Barbados. This little island girl, when she first came onto the scene with her little song, Ponder Replay, when she's in her little fold down jeans, right? Yep. Those of us who know her well, we call her Riri. And, right? Just trying to make it in the music business, right? The very cutthroat, tough to break through music business. And she perseveres and she persists and she gets to a certain level. But this is what I'm saying. Even when you think you're at a 9.5 or a 10, there's next level for you to start counting 1, 2, and up. So Rihanna, the music wasn't enough. Being, video star wasn't enough. She decided she was going to create and launch Fenty. Now, for those of you who don't know Fenty is a makeup line, very similar, analogous to what's a big makeup brand in the world? Give me some makeup brands that you know of that are like big and like Hollywood and movie and actresses and, like they're all about the good, giving good face. Exactly. That's the one I'm looking for, Melody. Rihanna had the audacity to go launch Fenty like MAC didn't exist. Wait, what? Like MAC dominates. Like MAC has their big, massive global campaigns, and everybody MAC, and the MAC makeup artists, when they slay with their, it's all MAC all the time. Rihanna overhearing but ignoring. One of my favorites, Jesus quotes. Jesus overhearing and ignoring. And that comes from a part in the Bible where they called Jesus to heal this young girl who had died, and Jesus came and he said, "Oh, she's just sleeping. She's just sleeping. We'll get her up soon." And then the people started laughing and like calling him crazy. Like, what is he talking about? Ha ha ha. Jesus overhearing, but ignoring. And then he called in his few, right? A small percentage of his 5. Remember, you're in a crew, level up your squad. Those who believe, the yes and people. He called in his yes and crew, went upstairs, brought her back to life, told them, give her some food, right? Overhearing, yet ignoring. Rihanna overhearing, oh, MAC, ignoring. We're about to launch this thing called Fenty. But she didn't stop there, right? More life. Next level. You're at a 10, start counting to a new 1 through 10. She launched Savage Fenty, like who didn't exist? Like Victoria's Secret didn't exist. Like she never heard that there is a Victoria's Secret that's dominating intimate and lounge luxury wear. She acted like she didn't hear that. Launch Savage Fenty. Rihanna, little cute, little petite island girl from Barbados, is now a billionaire. The audacity of this island girl to come to this land and create herself as a billionaire. Momentum crew, it can be done. It has been done. If one person has done it before, that's all the evidence that you need. That's all the evidence that you need to show you that it's possible. That's right. I mean, she's like a more than even like a triple threat. She's like a quintuplet threat, right? It can be done. If Rihanna, an island girl from Barbados, not like she was hooked up and connected with the Kennedys or the Waltons, or she didn't have any hookup. She came here and had a dream, had a desire, was decided, was resolved, was even though, nevertheless, and dared to have the audacity. Who does she think she is? To create herself as a billionaire. She's on the Forbes list. The nerve of her. Right? Exactly. And, oh, by the way, 33 years old. If Rihanna can do it, you can do it. We have to believe, we have to believe, we have to remember. Let me put you back into remembrance that when God created you, he said you were his masterpiece. Hello, somebody. God created you in his image. Do you understand what that means? He didn't create us in the image of the animals. He put Adam above animals. Adam had dominion over everything on earth. Adam created in the likeness, the image of God himself. He says we were created just below the angels. All things are possible through Christ who strengthens you. And it is there for those who dare believe. I'm going to leave you with this. And I'll see you back here 10 a.m. Eastern, as we are here Monday through Friday, every 10 a.m. Eastern, unless I'm doing transformational work, then I'm not. So when President Kennedy had a dream, decided we were going to the moon. That was it. We're going. We're putting this country on the map, on the moon. We're going. And he went to the lead scientist at NASA and said, because remember now, this never happened yet. Nobody's gone to the moon. And he asked, he said, what is it going to take to get a man on the moon? What did the NASA scientist say to President Kennedy? What is it going to take to get a man on the moon? Anybody know? Just tell me you know if you don't. I will tell you. What is it going to take to get a man on the moon when now, previously, that never happened? So you could say, in a sense, oh, it's impossible. Nobody's ever done it yet. It's not possible. The scientist said to President Kennedy, listen in and write this down. The will to do it. He didn't say we're going to need like some quantum poles and we're going to need X, Y, and Z, and we're going to need, $20 trillion to create this. He simply said the will to do it. That's what it's going to take to get a man on. I get chills every single time I think about that, because the power of the will. Do you know anything about Science of Getting Rich? The power of the will. You have the will. Bob Proctor says it this way: if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. What is your dream for you? What vision do you have for yourself? What do you see for yourself? If you can see it, you can hold it in your hands. Know that that's a possibility for you. Know that that is a fact. You are able to do, what's my favorite? What does that say? I am able to do all things through Christ, he who strengthens me. We are made in the likeness of God. There is nothing that's too big for our God. We just need to ask. We need to go to him in counsel. We need to have our board of directors meeting with our God and say, God, what would you have me do? He is the way maker. He is the way shower. Our minds are thinking our thoughts, ill-equipped, not even close to his thoughts. We get to know that, and we get to go boldly to the throne of grace and ask, God, what would you have me do? Because I'm telling you, as I'm sitting here, he will show you the way. All you need to do is ask. Here I stand, knocking at the door, waiting for someone to let me in. He's just waiting to give you this epic life. He's waiting to fulfill your most magical, irrationally magical dream. So when I say I'm getting $500,000 by June, that's like irrational because I've never done that before in my life. But I believe all things are possible through Christ. I believe that God is my waymaker, the strengthener and the lifter of my head. It is done. And I believe with everything that is in me, I want to transfer that to you. Dare to be audacious. Yes. Can you see yourself? Can you see yourself living on South Beach, on the beach with a beautiful bungalow, and you're there with your loved one and you're having the most gorgeous time, and friends come over and we have dinner parties and we do VIP retreats and we all like write our next books. We have like our writing. Listen, I just literally created that. Guess what? That can happen. Just like that, because I literally just saw that in my mind. So the fact that I can picture it clearly, hear the laughter, hear the kiki, hear the phone call, we tell good time Tina, oh, listen, it only sleeps 10. Sorry. I can hear that. The fact that I can see it in my mind, it is done. Done, 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 and done. Yes, there you go, Melody. Paint that picture. The overwater bungalows. Can we see our girls' retreat there? Can we see our CEO retreat? I can see my next summit. It's going to be about the powerful women CEO of themselves. Christina, attorney Christina, be on the lookout. I'm coming for you because I want to have you as my next as one of my speakers for that retreat. Women who are doing it and doing it well, even though nevertheless women, right? It's all possible. So with that, we are over time. I love you guys so much. Listen, right? Melody, you know what's happening. You know me. It is happening. COVID be gone. Clear out. Listen, people, get your vaccines or whatever you need to do. These variants, they need to be gone. The CEO retreat is happening. After we launch the CEO Mastermind, if you are on the fence, get off the fence. The fence is no place for women who are audacious. Listen to what my mentor David said. It's just a decision. Decide to get your $250 down payment paid today. Decide to get on the phone call with me and let me tell you about the boot camp and the mastermind. Decide if you want to have your own board of directors assembled for you. Hans just this morning has confirmed, CEO of the Brainful Institute in the Netherlands, is going to be a part of the board of directors that's going to come every week in service to you as their CEO. Where else can you get a board assembled for you? Where else can you get a rotating board assembled for you? And every week, ideas powering up your stuff. I mean, you saw what Dean Colwell did in 5 minutes. Imagine we have him for an hour and a half on a board that you are so fortunate to be in and hear from the man who teaches people how to be successful entrepreneurs. I don't know what else I need to tell you other than here is the link. Go put your $250 down right now. It's fully refundable. If after we have a conversation and you're like, yeah, I'm not sure, you get your money back. But don't let your spot be taken. Don't be making a decision on the outside. Put your money down, make a decision on the inside. So then even if you say, you know what, now's not the right time, at least the spots aren't gone. Because I'm telling you, 5 have already been claimed. And I haven't even started the official launch promo for the intensive yet. This is just people who were at the retreat and are like, yeah, I'm in. So do yourself that favor. But yes, the CEO, the physical CEO retreat will be happening. Will be happening. So Carrie, here is what I want you to say. Remember what Tasha said? The idea is what you get to say yes to. Are you desirous of wanting to be the CEO? Are you desirous of wanting to have the freedom to choose, the choice to say, yes, I either want a house manager or I don't want a house manager. David, my mentor, has a dog manager. He only plays with his dog. Comprehensive visits, for all that stuff handled. I never knew even that. That was not even like in my, I didn't even think that was a possibility. But the minute you say you can't, remember what Gina says. So this is not about trying to get you in, but I want you to reframe your languaging. This is important to me. The minute you say, where is it? Oh my gosh, what did she say? Okay. The minute you say you can't, or I can't afford, the dream is tossed. It's almost as if you never even thought the dream. So the languaging is important. So rather than if you say, oh, I can't afford something, I choose, because your brain is listening, your subconscious is listening to your languaging. I always tell people, be careful of the words that come out of your mouth. Your cells are listening. I can't afford is sick languaging. Your cells get sick when they hear that. I choose not to invest in this at this moment. Same outcome. The languaging is different. So please, this is so important. What you say, what you think impacts your entire being at the cellular level. Even if you're thinking, well, yeah, I can't afford, I'm not right, I can't afford that. Don't let those words come out your mouth. I choose not to invest in this opportunity at this time. Same outcome, but different energy, different way of being. Yes? Yes. Okay. So for those of you who get the link, this is not a hard thing for you to decide. You know what this is like? This is like window shopping. I'm making it like it's window shopping. Have you ever gone into, if you've been to Chicago, Magnificent Mile, you've been on Fifth Avenue, you've been to Rodeo Drive, a place where you're thinking like, oh my gosh, I could never even afford a belt out of these places. Walk in anyway. Try something on. Maybe already, yeah, I'm not buying, but to be in the experience of it, this is what is so key that I get to have everybody understand. To try it on and go, huh. Was it last week? Because my husband, he's like, he loves to golf, and he's like got all his like golf shirt and colors and coordinate. Anyway, he needed to get a new belt. Not needed. He wanted to get a new belt. And he was like looking at some other ones, and he showed me this one. It was like, full alligator. It was like 150. I said, get it. Get it. Because here's what that, and I kind of twisted his, but he got it. And I'm like, how does that feel? Because now you've just shifted. You've now shifted from this person that says, oh, I could never afford $150 alligator belt to go golfing. And now you're like, What else? What else you got? What else is out there? Because now you're into possibility, more life. We serve a God of multiplication. Look at the flowers. Look at the peacock. Do you think God was just about, okay, average, just mediocre? Why is the peacock the way the peacock is? Come on, people. Somebody look at the peacock. God did. Let's watch our languaging. That's the takeaway. Happy 11/11 for those of you who know what that means. I love you guys so much. Be well. Go get in the boot camp. Get in the intensive. It's going to be the best thing you've ever done for your business. This is 6 weeks of magic. Go take a look. Let's get on the phone. Let's get you in. I'll see everybody back here on 10 a.m. Eastern. And be well. Peace out. Love you.